This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. This the link up. This the link up. This the link up. Welcome to the link up. Oh. Yes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the LinkUp podcast with your host, Mr. King, and my co-host, Kana.
Yes. What's going on, everybody?
Today, we have a very special guest on the show. None other than Nelly Blaise.
Yeah, what's up?
If you like to greet the people, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm good. Thank you, Mr. King.
Okay, then. It's an awkward introduction.
But just a little bit there, no? I mean, now just a little bit there. But anyway, long story short. Let's get into it.
Mm-hmm.
What you doing, Nelly? What you doing? How long you been here? Give us a little thing of like, who's Nelly?
A little bit of your background.
Well,
for those who may not know.
Not the rapper.
Yeah. So basically, my real name is John Nelly,
Okay.
and I come from St. Martin. I've been here for 4 years now. I'm studying international leisure management.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also trying to make films and TV shows. Currently, I'm working on the Student Late Show, trying to make that a TV show based in Breda.
Okay, so what about?
The Student Late Show is about a platform where students get a voice to express their voices, their opinions about society and thought-provoking issues.
So are you trying to copy the link up? That's what I said.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's what we're trying to do,
But no, how long was this in development? How long have you been working on this? Like the Student Late Show?
The Student Late Show came about around in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I got the idea when I was in Breda. There's a lot of international students, and every time I talked to a student, they had something very good to say about a certain topic. Sometimes someone would talk about environmental issues, and I would be like, yo, you open my mind to that. Sometimes a student or just a person would talk about love or the situation that we're in right now in the Netherlands, and I would be like, yo, I love that point of view. And then I catch myself in school sitting down, and I'm like, I want to listen to all these people that are talking about all these different topics, but how? So I decided I wanted to bring all these students together in one place, talk to them, and hear their opinions. And I know I'm not the only one who want to hear their point of view. So I'm like, other people will want to hear this too. So I was sitting down in school, writing down concepts and stuff like that. And at that time, I used to watch a lot of Chelsea Lately. And she's one of my favorite hosts in
late night talk show.
Yeah, in late night talk show.
Why Chelsea?
Because she's raw, she's honest, and I'm attracted not only to her looks but to her personality, to her personality and the way how she talks about different topics. She's funny, she's smart, and I like the way how she articulates herself as well. So I listened to her so much, and I got inspired. And I'm a guy that watch a lot of late night shows. I watch a lot of Conan, and I just love the concept. You're sitting on a couch, you're interviewing someone, you're asking them questions. There's an audience. There's the writing perspective of it, the aesthetics of the stage looking nice. And then I was like, man, I want to bring this right here to my school and see if it's gonna happen. So I write the concept, I give it to my school, they give me interns, and then made the pilot.
Okay. And the pilot, what exactly was like the concept for the first pilot? Like what all did you, if you want to talk about the first episode, the pilot then basically?
The pilot was basically it was how to bring the idea that I had alive, and the concept was basically talking about student progression into the working field. So we had students that actually started their own business. We had an 18-year-old student, a Dutch boy, who started his own media company. No, I think he was 17. And we had like a psychologist from Rotterdam who works in a business, and where she assess the the psyche of the employees if they have problems or anything like that. And also Naomi from St. Martin, she's a student that's studying physical therapy as well. And she had, I don't know if she's still doing it, but she had like a business that she's selling health products and stuff like that. And also Dr. Rum is, you can say, an independent artist, I would think. I think so.
As far as I know.
I don't think he's signed to anybody, so I feel like it's safe to consider him independent.
And independent artists to me are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So
Definitely right about that.
from that standpoint,
If they're doing it right, then. But
yeah.
Yeah.
You need,
What your thoughts
to
are?
be successful as an independent artist, you definitely need to have some entrepreneurial spirit, because it's like there's very few rare cases where somebody hands you something, you got to put in a lot of work and you really have that self-motivation and drive to go out there and do this on your own, and like without necessarily having a boss to tell you and push you like that. So you definitely need to have some kind of entrepreneurial spirit, or at least self-drive. Like,
But I wouldn't consider that to be like almost everything you do now. Because no matter what field you're going into, at some point in time, especially if you're doing something on your own, you're going to have to encounter some kind of business aspect of it.
I personally feel like with music is a little different. Yes, you can go to music schools and stuff like that, but for most people, for a lot of people that aren't able to go to music schools, it's just literally kind of on the fly trying to figure this thing out, put pieces together.
But that's even
and
more
it's
of a
like,
reason for you to be like that, because you don't have, the schools is what, for the networking and give you the opportunities and stuff like that.
yeah, but schools also give you that safe environment to practice. Like, for example, if you do a music study and stuff, they put you in situations where, like, look, you get used to performing in front of your classmates and stuff like that, so that you already have some experience performing before you ever set foot on a real stage, like to perform as part of your career, quote unquote. Is like, that's the same thing that school does for any field you go into. Is like, okay, here, practice, here's a couple scenarios that are similar to what a real life situation might be like when you're actually out in the field, and you get to practice in a safe environment where you could make mistakes, you get feedback, you get correction, whatever, and then you improve and stuff. It doesn't really matter if you mess up in school. But then it's like, if you already established artist and you performing terribly and stuff like that, it's a bad look, that messes up the money or whatever.
Yeah, but it's in like, even if you don't, okay, that's the thing. So like, the school will give you the environment, they give you the practice and stuff like that. So you don't think that but the people who didn't go to school, they have to have that entrepreneurship even more, than that drive even more, because they don't have that practice, and because they don't have that
yeah, but that's the whole thing of, like, usually entrepreneur, if you don't go to school, yeah, you have the entrepreneur. If you did make the decision not to go to school, I think that's because you want to be an entrepreneur. You want to do something that you feel school isn't necessarily equipping you adequately, or whatever, that you felt it necessary to make the decision to go a different route.
Yeah, but that kind of brings my original point. Entrepreneurship is practically in everything, because no matter that whole drive to be an entrepreneur is the same drive you need to do anything else.
I disagree, because with entrepreneur, with most other things, it takes away. There's a safety net. Like, just the fact that you have a boss, there's somebody that you can shift accountability to if you're working for a company. If you, like, going through school and stuff like that, like, somebody's teaching you, whereas if you just decide to not go to school and stuff like that, whatever happens is basically there's nobody to blame but you have to take all accountability and responsibility for everything that happens. In a company, is like, okay, cool, I was not the lead or whatever on this project, I was just assistant or advisory council. If something goes wrong, there's that opportunity. Whereas if you are entrepreneur and stuff like that, there's nobody else to do that, or at least if you start in the business, then you might be the CEO, founder, whatever it is, there's nobody to give that blame to. You got to take all responsibility. It's like bigger risk, and there's also bigger reward if it goes well. I mean, like, most of the companies that we look to and all people trying to get jobs at and stuff was started by people who took that risk and failed a couple of times. And that was another thing too. Like, if it doesn't go well, usually there's a lot more risk involved in that situation with entrepreneurial versus if you go to school or if you get a job and stuff like that.
Right, it's true. But I mean, at the same point, yeah.
Reminds me of the Dame Dash interview from back in the day on the Breakfast Club and stuff. He was talking about people who workers and there's bosses and stuff like that. Not everybody is necessarily a boss. Not everybody has that entrepreneurial spirit or wants to go there because it's a lot more
That's
risk.
the thing. I think everybody have it, just not a lot of people don't want it. Or they might say they want it, but the actions
There's
speak
risk
something
and
different.
some people just prefer a place where it's like, yo, I could get a salary I could count on a fixed income or that salary every month. Whereas in the entrepreneurial world, it's like, okay, is the business doing good this month? Then you think it's good, or if it's doing bad, then all of that affects your pocket directly.
Yeah, that's true. That is
It's like not everybody wants that situation. We way off top because we're supposed to be interviewing this young gentleman right here, and you know.
I was going to spin it a little bit better than that, but it's all right. So then, who? Okay, so give me one of the topics you would talk about on the show.
We would talk about, let's say, for instance, love and health.
Oh God, what's love got to do with it?
What's the definition of love? Do you? That's true.
Yeah. I starting to believe love is not a feeling anymore.
Elaborate on that,
please.
Okay. So what I mean is not a feeling. Okay, cool. It'll start as a feeling and everything, infatuation, all that kind of stuff like that. But if you trying to say that you going to stay with that one person, it's not just a feeling anymore. That's a commitment. That's a job now. Because you're not going to constantly love that person the same way or feel the same way 24/7 about that person. But if you're going to stick with them and you want that person in your life, you have to stick through that feeling, and you have to stick through those days when you just want to say, yo, fuck you, I go in my way. Mm-hmm. You check? So feelings not going to keep a relationship together.
I understand what he's saying, but I disagree with certain parts of how you phrasing it. Like, I get the essence of what you're saying, and I kind of agree that, yes, love is not just like a word, it's not just that initial feeling of infatuation type of thing. It needs to be a little more than that. I agree with that, but how you saying, like, I forget exactly what it was that you said, but I just feel like memory is terrible, memory is terrible. God. I'm a young old man.
But Marcy's a young old man. Well.
Like,
but then what part you don't agree?
The part that I disagree with was that I feel like you can love somebody but still be upset with them and all those. Like, I feel like those things are momentary emotions that, like, it doesn't completely encapsulate or replace the love or something like that. It's like the love is there. You still could love this person, but I could be like, yo, I feel like ripping your head off metaphorically, not literally.
But that's understandable. Okay, let me ask this question then. What's your longest relationship, Nelly? What was your longest relationship?
Probably the one that I'm in right now. If it's because I whenever I'm in a relationship, I don't count. So when you ask a boy how long you been in a relationship,
but big man, you realize right now you have to remember these things.
Yeah.
How you mean?
That's like avoid argument 101.
You asking for drama, man.
That's basic rules in learning how to avoid arguments.
It's since
I know that.
At least a certain year.
Almost 8 months now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So 8 months. Okay. So
and that's my longest relationship with that I ever had with any girl. 8 months.
Okay.
True.
And then you, Mr. King, how was your longest? What was your longest relationship?
A little bit over a year and a couple of months and stuff.
Okay.
I don't know exactly, but yeah, maybe like a year and 4 months.
For me, it's about a year and change as well. We don't know what it is to actually say that, yeah, we're going to stick through it or fucking thing. Was a year. Was a year, 1 year, that's nothing.
You do know that we're young.
Yeah, but what was, okay, we
young subjective.
Yeah, that.
Depending on who you ask, I know some people that, like, they've been together since they're like 15 they're going strong and stuff, and
I don't know, but my whole thing is just like, at one point down the line, it's going to stop being just about feelings. It's going to not just be about that, oh yeah, I really like this person and things like that.
Yeah, as soon as you got some bills to pay and there's responsibilities and everything, it's like love don't pay the bills.
But that's the thing, love ain't enough for last. It ain't enough no more.
But what I think you're doing, you're not you're not compartmentalizing. Yes, compartmentalize. You bundling all of it up into one. Love is separate from, say, for instance, when you're working to pay for the bills. Love is something totally different from being sad. Love is something totally different from being angry. When you're talking about love, and for me, is a soul connection between two human beings, and nothing else matters beyond that.
It's an interesting topic for three guys in a room. Like I was like the first topic we delve in deep into love and thing, the mysteries and the intricacies of love.
But let's be real now.
Mm-hmm.
If fellas used to talk about this more, we would have a lot less problems.
Yes.
Possibly, yeah.
No, there's no. Let's stop. Let's cut the bullshit. Not possibly, because I sure all of us in this room here has done some shit that if we had been open about our feelings and had maybe
probably could have avoided some
older and more wiser
some OG
advice
guidance
and consolation, we would avoid a lot of bullshit that happened.
Probably, yeah.
And I's definitely one of those people.
Yeah.
So
You're not wrong.
It's just that if man used to be more open about that and shit like that and talk about things like how we talking about it now, which is the reason for this podcast anyway.
Discussion
a lot of shit would have
starter.
been easier, but in society, especially in the Caribbean, they have this whole stigma. Yeah, you talk about your feelings, or you talk too much about what you feel, or thing. You're soft,
boom boom.
You're a faggot. I mean, yeah, you're a faggot because that's a terminology that is used in the Caribbean. I don't mean to offend nobody, but
you're just trying to give an accurate quote.
Yeah,
we
that
understand.
and oh yeah, he's a pushover, he's a pussy, and this and that.
Man up.
That's a common phrase. Don't be a bitch, man up. So it's like, okay, cool, but then at the same time, you want me to come express my feelings and stuff like that. But pick a side.
So, Kana, are you a feminist? Is that what you hear proclaiming now? Okay, it sounds a little bit. It sounds kind of like.
No,
as
a realist.
Mm-hmm.
I call bullshit for what it is. Like if that was the case, shit would have been cool. But especially, I can say it on the flip side too. If women used to hold it down a little bit more, a lot of this shit wouldn't be an issue.
Hold it down regarding what?
By feelings.
Meaning what?
Like not everything got to be like, yo, how you feeling? Like, oh, I feel like this and I feel like that. The same way how men don't have to be a dick all the time and just not talk to the woman.
Mm-hmm.
So it is both ways, Jad.
With women, I don't think you can tell them to stop with the feelings, because I think they made it.
You can't stop. You can't tell them to stop with the feelings. Mm-hmm. But even women could agree. Let me ask how it is then. Mm-hmm. Are you never had female friends that tell you, they don't have other female friends?
I've heard similar statements before.
Okay, and what is the reason they don't have female friends? Because they know and they agree that woman is drama. And the woman is women know this.
Usually it boils down to something along.
Men is drama as well.
So you can't tell me why I say it is wrong.
Men is drama as well.
It's true.
Yeah, but generally speaking, from the female perspective, it's always dangerous when you're generalizing and making general statements saying like, okay, women are like this, men are like this. It's always dangerous when you're making that.
Yeah.
You automatically open yourself up to be wrong and somebody to be like, yo, I'm not like that.
If anybody have to feel offended about what we're talking about, no, that means you are that way, and I mean you have to check yourself. Because if you feel uncomfortable with this conversation, I mean you have something with you. But anyway, that I don't know. That's just my thoughts of it, because it could be both. Is like just like everything else. I find life is a balance.
Yes.
So they're going to have the good and they're going to have the bad. It's all how you choose to see it, how you choose to visualize it, and that's your. I guess that's you. How to say it properly, by. See, this is why I gotta read more. You know, my vocabulary gets in the thing. Is your standpoint to a certain perspective, and only you could choose that. And there's like everybody got the same 24 hours, but you choose how to spend yours. You choose what you're going to focus on. But that's just my 2 cents. That whole love thing is that's a dangerous topic on its own, to be quite honest.
Yeah, especially with just 3 boys and no women.
But again, like I say, if man used to talk about it more, a lot of shit would have been a lot easier.
Either way, like, I mean, we can discuss it. It can be a potentially dangerous topic if we trying to represent or speak on behalf of women and stuff like that. That I feel like, that's where we setting ourselves up for failure. I would agree with that. But
Yeah,
I feel like we can still
I don't agree with
discuss.
that.
We can still discuss a male perspective on love and stuff
but
like that. We can
exactly.
still represent the male side of the discussion, or how we interpret situations and how we may feel about certain situations and all of that. But
we might not be able to talk about the female perspective.
we could say
specifically,
what
but
we think
we have-
think the female is thinking or something like that.
Okay,
using
well,
the word think a lot.
I would say I have enough female friends that I could give a general statement. Especially
I just
from
don't. My thing is, I just don't like to make general statements. Cause like I said, whenever you say women are like this, blacks are like this, whites are like this, like whenever you make a blanket statement of somebody is like this or some group of people is like this.
Time out. Let's not pretend like some of them statements don't be true though. Black people like fried chicken.
There are many stereotypes that are rooted in truth. That doesn't mean it holds true for everybody. That doesn't mean it's like okay if you just
but we're not talking about nobody specific either. We're talking about the general population.
Everybody like fried chicken. It's not specifically black people that like fried chicken. That's where the stereotype thing comes in. It's like who does not like fried chicken? Look how many styles. Different cuisines have their own recipes and takes on fried chicken from Asian kitchen and stuff like that,
and popularizing it and making it known as a something. It's not only just to say is white people pose on black people. No, black people are friggin' do it too.
The Colonel is a white man or a black man?
A white man, but he's a white man. And who exactly? And who popularized it more? Not black people.
I'm just saying. The spokesperson.
Maybe the Colonel didn't find the recipe to that fried chicken. Maybe it was a black man. He stole it. That's why we have a deeper connection to Kentucky Fried Chicken. Well, not me, because I'm pescatarian. But
okay, wait. You gotta explain what I is.
Only eating fish.
What?
Only eating fish.
Yeah,
you only eat fish.
Not only eat fish,
fish
but
and bush.
That's the type of meat.
Vegetables, and fish. I don't eat chicken. I don't eat meat. And
no beef, no pork.
No beef, no pork, no lamb.
I trying to cut out the whole pork thing now, but it's a little hard because bacon is life.
No. Okay for you.
Bacon is life.
Like every now and then I might eat bacon, but I like when I do, I just feel like I know I shouldn't be eating it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I just stop because it's been a while since I eat bacon. Like I eat chicken, but I don't know, just pork. If I'm broke, I might end up eating pork. I'd be like, if money a little tight, the chicken breast or something else be a little bit, I could use that extra euro somewhere else. I'd be like, let me buy a little bit of the cheaper pork and stuff like that. But generally speaking, I eat chicken breast. Recently, I've been eating turkey. Got a little bit, kind of the same, but a slightly different taste, similar texture, kind of, and that I keep it simple. Ground beef on occasion.
But I was say ground beef and pasta last year a good couple of days.
Yeah, that on broke days that was coming too. But the preference is normally for chicken breast. Got like not that little upper class meat.
I don't know. that's beginning of the month meat. That's just
man,
where
just drop.
No, I can't do that, boy. Are you good? I respect all you, man. Not fucking me. I like a steak, boy.
Boy, the reason for that is because I really don't know what's going on in the food, especially even though with fish as well. There's plastic in the water.
There's a lot of talk about
fish piss in the water,
mercury and stuff like that. As well as like the levels of mercury in the water. That's another thing that people talk about. That things that just come off, like how polluted our oceans are becoming and stuff like that. It's affecting the sea. It's like the ocean life and stuff like that as well. In today's day, you never know. You don't know what to eat.
Exactly.
Like everything has an issue. Everything has an
even
upside.
The vegetables.
I feel like we just haven't necessarily figured out what's the downside of all the. Whether it's like I remember there was something about soy as well. Like too much soy has problems as well. So if you cut out meat and use the soy, the soy meat replacement thing, too much of that could be bad for you as well. I feel like the general rule to life about everything is just balance and moderation.
Yep.
Both of them.
Yep. It's that self.
I don't have a problem with eating meat. I have a problem with eating industrialized meat. I want my meat to come from a place where I know that farmer raised that meat without putting anything in it. Like I am not like a vegetarian.
My question to you then would be, how do you know of that? Because of the sticker on it that tells you that farm was raised according to a fair trade thing.
That's why I stopped eating, because they can lie on the stickers. So that's why I was like, you know what? I don't know if they can inject soya or vegetables with with
Then you got the pesticide discussion. If it's 100% biological and stuff like that, then you're putting your faith in the the regulatory agencies that's supposed to go and conduct the investigations on these farms or fisheries or wherever, whatever it is, to see if it's up to the standard to get this qualification and stuff like that. It's just putting your faith into these companies, and it's like, yeah, I'd like to believe that they're doing a good job, and I know that. At least for certain industries and certain specific situations, I've seen that, yeah, they do go do the investigations and the codes and stuff that they have for sustainable, to be considered a sustainable farm or whatever and stuff like that, or a biological product or a fair trade, whatever it may be. Like, they make sense. I get the whole concept of it, but it's like, I just saw an article recently I was saying about how the Dutch population, a lot of people shopping by the Actions and the Lidls and stuff like that, and like there's the Albertines and the stores that selling like the upper class products and thing, they've seen a lot less customers and stuff, even though since we recovered from the economic crisis that we had a couple years back or whatever. Is like, people broke. It seems as though people don't care necessarily. The average consumer don't care about all of this biological certification. I think if you go to Lidl now, they start, at least the one in Amsterdam, they're starting to get a little better and offer more healthier choices, like the vegan products and stuff like that. You see, they start to offer some of those, but for a long time they would just offer the basic thing. If you wanted to get almond milk or coconut milk or rice milk and all of these type of variations of milk and stuff like that, you would have to go to an Albertine, but Lidl would just sell you milk.
But yeah, you just gotta deal with whatever they have sell. But
a lot of people shopping at those places still, so
yeah,
it's showing
because it's cheaper.
People broke in the place. Like,
yeah, but I mean, think about it. If you don't have the money, you can't really choose to eat healthy these days.
yeah, or like if you want,
you don't spend more money now. Or you just save money
no, yeah,
because
if you buy like sugar, for example, if you buy brown sugar, rock cane sugar, and you look at the difference of the version as just like regular rock cane sugar, that's, we don't care how it was produced and stuff, versus the fair trade one, or the other thing is like €1 in price, where the regular sugar might be 50 cents. This one is now like €1, €1.50 or something. It's like, yeah, I could get 3 of this other one for the same price I'm spending on this. Like, why am I going to? Do I really care that much about the situation of like what going on with that farmer and the price that he making wherever he lives for
that's the shit.
the work that he doing?
Really worth it at the end of the day? Because you can go like I already said before, that extra euro does add up at the end. So it's like, why is it really worth it to be eating that healthy?
Well, for me,
but back to the original question. Like, either you spend more money or you spend less money on food.
Right now I'm budgeting because I'm like investing in my own films right now. However, with food, I'm eating less. I'm not eating as much as I used to. Before, I used to have like a plate with rice, chicken, vegetables, and it used to be full. Now I have a small plate, like one of those plates where we would give a child, and I would have vegetables and rice, and
they're looking like a white girl on the first day.
But yeah, so basically I'm eating less, and when I eat less, I buy less.
Okay, but then you still have energy?
Of course, I'm in the gym almost every day. I'm losing a lot of weight, yes, because I'm eating less, but I feel that I'm getting stronger.
Okay.
And I feel strong as well. I mean, I think it's a myth, they're telling you that you need to eat chicken, you need to eat meat for you to have a lot of energy and for you to be productive.
It's not myth.
However,
it's proven that you don't have to.
However, I stopped eating chicken and I stopped eating meat. I feel somewhat the same or even better sometimes,
But was it a hard transition, like the first couple of weeks, like the first month or so? How long you been pescatarian?
I tried it the first time I came out to St. Martin because I wanted to be a Rastafarian.
You wanted to be, so I guess that didn't really work out.
It didn't work out. It didn't work out.
Well, like, what was the?
It didn't work out.
What stood in the way? What was the obstacle? Why is this guy over here laughing? Trying to being professional and conduct the interview.
Well, the first time when I came here, I wanted to try this Rastafarian lifestyle, but I respected the culture so much that I didn't want to eat meat and because Rastafarians they don't eat meat, they only eat like fish as a substitute to meat, or they don't eat fish at all, they eat vegetables.
So you Snoop Lion 2.0.
Yeah, so I was eating meat, and I was like,
you felt it was contradictory,
yeah, exactly.
and stuff like
so
that.
I didn't
was
want
like,
to disrespect the culture anymore, and
Let
I
me
wanted
not label myself that way, and then I'm still not living it fully. I could respect that.
Yeah, I could respect that for real. I could respect that. It's still funny how you say it, though.
Yeah, it didn't work out, and
but I can respect that for sure.
Like you mentioned briefly that you at least part of what you unless you invest in your own films and stuff. Like, could you elaborate on a little bit on that? Like, what films specifically you have in mind, or that you like to invest on, and what have you done in the past? Like, tell us a little bit of your film resume and stuff.
He's still laughing about
that boy a fool. Just pretend, just ignore that dude in the corner laughing. We gonna conduct the interview over here. Let him laugh. Let him catch himself.
What was the question again?
I was asking, tell us a little bit about your film resume. Like, what have you done in the past? And you said you're looking to invest in stuff like that in your own films. Like, what specifically are you investing in, and what the future look like regarding you in films, just in general? Other than the Student Late Show, of course.
Yeah. So the first film I ever invested in was I tried to do a sports documentary in Spain with a professional fighter in Spain, and I spent money on that first one, and I tried to direct it in the image that I saw it fit, so I can present it to the audience like I was doing a MMA challenge. I spent a couple of €100 on that film. I got 2 camera people to help me out to visualize everything. And yeah, so basically it didn't come out how I wanted it to come out, like how I envisioned it, because that was my first time ever writing for cameramen to see, okay, I want
this angle.
Yeah, I want this
really
angle.
setting up the storyboarding of the shots
Exactly.
and stuff.
So I didn't even understand how to do that. I didn't even understand how to express that. So all of that was a challenge. However, I have to shout out the cameramen who work on it. The guys from where is it? From France. I think they were from France. Where's that location from France? And then after they're sharing the border, not with Spain and not with
Switzerland.
Yeah,
Brussels?
Switzerland. Yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah, they're from Switzerland. One from Switzerland and one from France. They did an incredible job. And I wanted more from it because I wanted the narration to be part of it. And I also wanted to do more at that gym. However, I have to be satisfied with what I did because that's the knowledge that I had.
But now, like you say, it's your first time. You can only go from there. But like, what happened to the video? Like, what you had to do with it?
I put it on Facebook. It got like 3,500 views. And
nice. That ain't bad numbers at all, especially for your first time doing something. That ain't bad at all.
And I put it on YouTube as well, but on YouTube I get no views at all. I get like maybe 100 or 50 views from video to video. It varies depending on how good the content is or how many people see it.
And that's including the late night talk show.
The late night talk show also on Facebook got like 3,500 views. The first episode. Not the pilot. The pilot got like 300 and something views.
So this episode of the LinkUp supposed to have a lot of views then. Just because
I hope so.
bringing in your whole fan base and things to come listen to the Nelly story.
That's how it's supposed to be.
I hope so, but only on Facebook I get the audience to watch the content because I played around with the marketing with Facebook.
It's easier.
Yeah.
It basically I think it just comes down to less steps for the consumer. Consumer's lazy. It makes it more likely for them to click it. The less steps that they have to do is if it's on YouTube, it's like I gotta click YouTube and it has to open in a whole other window and stuff. If it's on Facebook, I'm already scrolling down my timeline. It's already right there.
Yes.
It plays automatically. It makes it a little more likely that you'll see what's going on once you see some movement and stuff, and then.
Yeah.
But I mean, not to kind of knock your video as well, but like Facebook in particular has a kind of like inflated views oftentimes. Not to say like that many people didn't watch your videos, but the way that they count views is like a little different than the way YouTube counts views and stuff. Like I think how long somebody actually watches the videos, like they just count it if you just touch it, or like
Really?
they like their system for counting views different. I don't know the specifics of it exactly, but I just know that their system for views is counting. That's why like oftentimes you see like Facebook videos have like a ridiculous amount. The ones that go viral from like really well-known content creators or whatever is like they have a ridiculous amount of views, but so it's also like a lot of inflated views to some degree. It's not to say that they're fake or whatever, they just count the views differently.
So YouTube is more precise. You would say?
I would say so, yeah. But you also have the same thing of people buying views and stuff like that on YouTube and stuff. There's many different sites and things to sell views on Instagram. Yeah.
So you never really know.
There's always potential for that, but you was basically talking about your filmography and, you know, telling us some of the projects you worked on. And aside from the Spanish MMA fighter it was?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. What was the next project after that?
The next project after that was, currently right now what I'm doing, because I came from Spain last year.
Okay.
And I'm working on the hip-hop documentary right now.
Mm-hmm. So
that's what I want to give to the world, but this one is going to be much more professional.
Okay, wait. So hip hop documentary. What that gonna be about?
Hip hop documentary.
No shit, Sherlock. But specifically,
you ask the question, dog.
How many hip hop documentaries have you all seen? So what was going to be like? What image are you trying to portray
specifically in hip hop?
Dickhead.
What I'm trying to portray is basically me as a Caribbean student. I want to indulge myself into the culture of hip hop. I want to understand how it started. I want to know who the main artists are and how it's influenced in the Netherlands. So basically, you know Noisy?
Yeah, the media outlet.
Yeah, they did a hip hop documentary in Atlanta, and they had this journalist by the name of Ned. This white guy, glasses. He looks, a little geeky, dorky, and he went to the neighborhoods of Gucci Man, Young Dolph, and he interviewed them, and they took him under his wing and they told him about the culture. So I want a similar process of that, but with me here in the Netherlands. So I want to go under their wing, and I want them to teach me the lingo, the slang, and basically what sets Dutch hip hop aside from all other hip hop.
Okay, so you want to be chilling with man like SBNK and
yes.
Wait, I just mix up
SBMK, SFB.
I just mix up two groups there, right?
Yeah, there's SBMK. Yeah.
Oh, I know I said correct. Okay, cool. Yeah, we all know me and Dutch ain't friends, but okay, so you can be chilling with these man, Ronnie Flex. Well, you consider Ronnie Flex a hip hop artist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like
I don't listen to his music that much, but I know he's in the hip hop scene.
Yeah.
He's typically portrayed as a hip hop act and stuff like that. But
okay,
I'm not too deep.
I want to.
I like how you say that. Okay, but I mean, you must know at least somebody that got connections, or at least one of them from equals to Ronnie Flex. So, I mean, you must know somebody that maybe like got a cousin I know him, or like got friends that'll be around them. One of them. Cause I mean, who are big in Dutch hip hop now?
I'm not the appropriate person to ask because I'm very.
Give me a minute.
I'm not. I personally am not too deep into the Dutch hip hop scene myself. I listen to very particular, like a few artists that somehow they managed to come across my radar and I became aware of them. But there's not that many people. Like the only people I've been listening to recently that I could say like, I think they're dope, and that's even like a kind of conditional dope thing because it's like. Is Mulla Bay, Louis Voss, them dudes from Will the West, I feel like them man is like, to me they kind of like Dutch 2 Chainz or like a Dutch Flakka. I would say like a combination of the two because like it's very trap music, so like you're not expecting
no lyricism.
Yeah, but it's still surprisingly they got like some witty lines and they have a few witty punchlines here and there. But from Mulla Bay specifically, the one I like more, he brings a lot more to energy. Like he got some songs that just ridiculous. The ad libs,
I think you let me
like,
see a couple of videos from these.
the ad libs and stuff that this man have, like this only like Migos kind of like the energy and stuff that they bring with the ad libs is not that lyrically deep, but the beats dope. It's like trap beats and stuff, and then it's like energy.
But is that? I mean, I don't know about the Dutch trap music up here, but like from what at least they play in the clubs and was like popular hip hop is you got SBMK, like we had said before, Equals,
Frena.
He's good.
Yeah,
He's good.
How you pronounce that?
Frena.
Okay, da. And then who else they got?
He got a beef with Mula Bay.
Is it real?
And then
Yeah, I don't know if it's like real, how real it is. I know there's an industry beef and thing. They got a couple of diss tracks to each other. And
that other group
Okay.
that always fighting.
Brutal Lifter?
Yes,
They're the hottest to me.
they always worried.
They transcending hip hop in the Netherlands.
They
to
and
me.
SBNK, I think they got beef.
I don't-
Leader and
I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you.
One of them big groups. Like every time they see each other, is war. Like by Kwaku,
Like real fighting
What?
or really?
Big man by Kwaku, there was a big thing, and later on to find here is something with these man. Come to hear us another story. These man fighting airport and all that kind of thing already. Yeah. Yo, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It seems like it's an on-site type something, but that could just be rumors. Again, I ain't Dutch. I don't know.
You're not
these.
deep in the Dutch scene.
Nah,
either.
no. This is just stories I hear from other Dutch people.
Okay.
But it seemed to be like a known something. But anyway, it's these man them. They got a group there called Equals. They got some big tunes. And then I don't know if you hear about Amarty from Amsterdam. No, not from Amsterdam, but he live in Amsterdam, but he from Africa. I don't know. I was gonna say a country, but I don't know exactly where. But he's from some part of Africa. This man got some dope music, dog.
I heard about Amarty from
Sen.
Gilda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Sent or Gilda?
But I sorry, I don't call him Sent, but people who
This
know him
Gilla,
from way back, they call him Sent.
no, it's officially Gilla. That's the one that he officially goes
Yeah,
right now, I
that's his-
believe.
But
So.
I don't call him that. That's just me.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I see him introduced him because he performed at the Encore Festival, and he introduced him there, I think.
Yeah,
So
they
that's
performed
where
together.
that's where I first heard about him.
Gilla been Gilla been promoting Amarty Had and stuff like. I mean, he recently was telling me about the EP release party that Amarty had, and he was telling me like I should check out his new EP. I haven't gotten around to it as yet, but I'm going to do it eventually.
But yeah, me too. I ain't really don't want to just download music like that. But this man, a couple tunes this man got, especially one with Gilla that's supposed to be coming. Now I got me calling man Gilla. The one with Gilla that's supposed to be coming out soon. Hopefully, the man drop that. Yo, that's a bad tune. That's a good song them got there. But I guess they waiting for it to finish and all. I mean, whatever process are you man to be doing? Because I ain't know nothing about that life.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But I feel like we got off track yet again. You know, he was telling me, he was talking, discussing the Dutch hip hop documentary. Like, I guess like in what stage of development are you? Are you like, what part of the process are you in? Like, still trying to reach out to people. How exactly are you going about this? Tell us a little bit about the whole.
I honestly, I just had a meeting yesterday with my two producers, and I don't know how much information I can disclose, like with you guys. So
Understandable.
So I'm gonna try to disclose information that I think the producers want.
Man, don't put yourself in trouble now.
Listen, if you're not sure, if you haven't gotten the
We're not
okay,
big yet now, so you know, we might be able to
don't
slide
know
under the radar. We're not big
I
yet.
don't know how many people listening, you know, so maybe he might not reach the ears of that person, you know.
I mean, then
Who
again, if
knows?
your video's getting like 300 and something, then I mean,
Yeah,
you
can
know,
you're a celebrity and
Yeah,
then
you
bringing
know.
up our platform, hopefully.
we're trying to do this thing.
Well,
But
let me
from
see.
what
As
you
you
know,
say-
from
as
what
you
you know
say.
that is confirmed that you have the okay to speak about, like,
So basically, since this is going to happen, I know I can talk about it. We're going to professionalize the whole concept again. So we're starting off from ground zero now, and so this is the process what we're in right now, and we want to we want to cater to the Dutch audience because we're doing this Dutch hip hop documentary. And first, we were contemplating, should it be strictly in English or should it strictly be in Dutch? So that was the main issue.
What was your decision?
So now the decision is that we're going to cater to the Dutch audience. Since we're in a Dutch market, we're in the Netherlands, we're going to have the documentary in Dutch. However, we're going to have English subtitles.
Understandable.
So just off the top of the head, why not do it exactly how the Dutch hip hop is and a mixture of Dutch and English?
We're going to experiment when we start shooting because we're gonna start shooting very, very soon. But strictly we're gonna start it off as me coming into the culture. I'm actually not good in speaking Dutch, so that's why I'm gonna first introduce. I'm Nelly Blaise. I come from St. Martin. I want to understand the Dutch hip hop. However, my Dutch is not. I'm gonna do all of this in Dutch.
Provide a little context and stuff so people understand the angle and where you're coming from.
Okay, but then your producers now, where they from?
My producers are from Holland.
Okay, like but from Holland as in like they Dutch or like
like Dutch as in white. Dutch.
Okay,
not Dutch as in black or.
Okay, so that was good because if I was gonna say if you got those Dutch people and you try to cater to the Dutch culture and Dutch hip hop, that would make no kind of sense. But you're going good already. But that was good, man. That's thing to hear. So when are you done? Have like a release date or a deadline? Are you looking for or something like that, or you just as it goes?
Well, we have a plan. We have a structure. The release date is not there yet.
That's understandable because you may like to actually produce the thing first before you start looking at okay when it's going to come out. Like
so, and all of this takes time. Films usually documentaries take you can take 6 months to 2 years or even more. You can't really rush films. So basically, we don't have a end date yet. However, we're gonna start in 2018. 2017 we're gonna put out the trailers. We already put out a trailer already. However, we're gonna revamp everything. We're gonna come out new, and we just want to show the Dutch market, also the international market, that we really invest in making this a really professional product, and we're taking our time with making this. And we're gonna investigate the culture. We're gonna investigate the people, and we're gonna make sure that we tell a exciting story and give you guys an experience when you watch it.
Okay.
Since you say you're going to kind of be going over the whole idea and like making it more professional, taking it up a notch, like is the main angle and this kind of storyline still the same? Well, I guess you can already answer that to some degree. I mean, talking about it's being an example of you being from St. Martin and going into the Dutch culture. But I mean, is it still kind of following the example of the noisy piece that you saw from Atlanta? Is like that still kind of the basic idea to be like that kind of thing?
Well, first, that was the initial idea that we had. For this first year, that what we was trying to do was, okay, we're gonna follow Noisy and we're gonna make sure that this is the Dutch version of Noisy. So that was the inspiration. However, it took a whole new story into, you know what? We're not American. We're not Noisy. This is
That's good.
Yeah,
That was good.
This is a product of a guy who come from St. Martin. This is his story, and this is a Dutch team, and we're gonna put Dutch flavor into it. We're gonna put Caribbean flavor into it.
I hope it's Caribbean flavor. You put it not Dutch.
We're gonna put Dutch flavor into it. We're gonna put Caribbean flavor into it, and we're gonna mesh those two. And then after, we're gonna give the audience a product that can show that like
combination of
of best of both worlds. Exactly.
That cool. That sounds good. But I ain't gonna lie, right? I'm a little bit more interested to hear about the late night talk show. How often are you to be doing, like, how often you be doing the show itself?
The late night talk show, well, I was gonna continue doing the late night talk show this year, like every other week, together with USC.
Okay.
Yeah. However, that collaboration did not work out. So I have to reformulate what I'm going to do again with the late night talk show. So this year, basically, it's not going on anymore.
Okay.
I tried to make some videos on my own and see how that would work out. However, I was not too proud of the entire process. So basically, right now, what I'm doing is I'm looking for a new team, and I want it to be like the same thing, like how my school provided me with interns, that they give me cameramen, they give me a sound guy, they give me a light guy, and I had writers. So basically, that's what I want to do for next year. I want to start looking for the team from now on. I already start the process. I'm going through meetings and stuff like that with different stakeholders. And by the end of this year, hopefully I can have a team. And then next year, I'm going to relaunch it into something that's like strictly professional. And if it's not professional, then I'm not doing it.
I feel you.
High standard. That was good. That was supposed to be.
Do you have like a end goal for the student late show? Like a vision that you would like to see
And they're
in
calling
maybe
it the
2
late
years,
night
3
talk show.
years? Like, yeah, like what would be the end goal basically?
The end goal for the late night talk show are two goals. I have a social goal and I have a personal goal. My personal goal is to grow as a show host and a content creator. I want to basically show the world or show companies that I have the capability of hosting my own show. I have the capability of making shows as well, writing content and producing. And I would like to get picked up by a local television program here in the Netherlands, in Breda or in Tilburg, or even Amsterdam. It doesn't matter really to me. If not, then hopefully somewhere in America or in London where there's more people who speak English, they can see my talent, and hopefully I can be a journalist there in one of their companies or a host. And the social goal is to bring awareness about social issues, thought-provoking issues, and also I want to give students a platform, and I want to link different people from all over the world to see that we're different, however, we're similar at the same time.
So this this is mainly for students type something.
Yes.
You're going to stop it when you graduate, or you're going to continue doing this as well?
So this is the dilemma I have right now. I don't know what I'm going to do when I finish graduate.
So this could be something you could work on in the meantime.
Yeah. So I have no idea what I'm going to do when I finish graduate. However, this is my baby and it's my concept. And I want to build my business off of these shows. Just like Issa Rae. Issa Rae had her own
YouTube stuff with
her
the awkward
own-
black girl, and then eventually
yeah.
developed into Insecure. and-
Exactly.
Yeah, but you see,
launch
that's
from
why
there.
you shouldn't focus. I don't think you should focus too much on actually getting picked up, more but just getting your stuff there, like you
Producing
say,
the best
doing
content.
your professionalism and stuff like that, getting that 100%. So whenever whenever that does happen, you're gonna be like, all right, cool, I gotta check this, I gotta check. Nah, you already know what it is you're on, and you just gotta keep on going. So just focus on. I would even say, but I don't
Perfecting
even
your craft.
Yeah, but
Perfect your craft.
Don't even worry about getting picked up on
When
on
the
Dutch
opportunity
TV, but
presents itself.
You might get even something even bigger than that. Right? So just focus, especially with how the internet is these
Yeah,
days.
we more interconnected than ever. I mean,
Exactly.
Netflix are just so Netflix trying to earn a lot of money, picking up a lot of shows and
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. You never know what could happen. Like, I mean, you gotta set your realistic goals and your milestones and stuff like that. But I mean, at the same time, you can't be afraid to think big. I know I myself don't always do it, kind of like with this show and stuff. I'm not necessarily. This might sound negative, but like I'm hoping for the best. But I just have like realistically kind of low expectations, so that way I'm not disappointed if I see like, okay, this particular episode maybe didn't get as much views as the last one. Like, that's part of the process. Like, some
Hope
things
for the
gonna be
best,
better,
prepare
some
for
gonna be
the
worse. Like, yeah,
Yep.
I mean, that's about all you could do. But
But it's the same thing. But I mean, at the same time, the link up is supposed to be the same thing. The student late night
similar
show.
concept, yeah, similar concept.
Just more Caribbean based.
Yeah.
instead of international. So it's like it's the same
With the
thing
accent,
with
I
us.
can hear it as well.
You gotta leave the mark.
You cater into more Caribbean students than international students.
But yeah, because with us, we more want to be like, all right, yo. Everybody else seems to got platforms for something. The Americans big on YouTube. Everybody else doing something. We didn't necessarily see anybody from the Caribbean doing something like this. Especially now that podcasts getting to be a little bit more
Mainstream and
mainstream. I wouldn't say
more
mainstream,
well-known.
more popular because a lot of people just say like, "What the hell is a?" When I say they do a podcast, I'm like, what the fuck is a podcast? And then I have to practically say, long story short, it's a talk show with no cameras. So it's
radio, but not on the radio.
Yeah, so it's like it's that, and we trying to put like students like you or Caribbean people like you who doing something out of the ordinary other than just going to school and doing work, and give them a platform to talk about what they're doing, big up themselves and get other people more involved. You never know, because of this link up from somewhere else, you might get somebody up like, what, this is what Nelly doing, so and so, and get something from there. And then vice versa, you might put out the video, advertise it, but this, I was on a link up and other people like, what, somebody else doing something like that, and that's how we get more viewers.
That's what I plan to do.
Cross promotion is what it's called. Cross promotion
is a lot easier than doing this thing separate, Chad.
No, but honestly, it's just like my basic thing is just like, if you win, I feel like we all winning. It's a simple thing. Whatever those you break down, that makes it easiest for me. It sets precedent. It gives people the ability to be like, look, Nelly broke through and he was successful. There might be some other talented people over there and some man doing some dope shit. Exactly. Let's go see what popping over there. Like,
exactly. And that's why I support all my friends with what they're doing, because the harder they work and the more successful they are, the less I have to be.
Two things, man, put it bluntly, but yeah, Nelly, what?
Two things that I wanted to approach is what Kana just said, with working on my craft and perfecting it and keep on doing it and not worrying about getting picked up by local or anything. I might get picked up.
Quote-unquote big dogs.
Exactly. Yeah. Basically, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to push myself to make the best content that I can make. And I'm trying to leave the market rate it or experience it and see if it's worthy of me continuing doing these kinds of things. So that's what I'm basically trying to do right now. And I'm gonna keep on working on it. And the second thing that you brought up is that working together. All of us need to work together, especially as Caribbean people push each other. However, I don't see us doing that much. The only rare thing that I see is you guys. You guys come together and make this podcast and stuff like that, and I kind of jealous because I want to do this with my friends,
But I mean, if you got a time, you can always come through. We have some discussions, you know.
I know it's a little travel and stuff like that, so that may be a little inconvenience to do it from too often. But
you can leave us know when you got time. You come to. We trying to do this so far. Our schedule permits is mostly on Fridays.
Yeah, it seemed like we've been doing this thing, consistently, at least for the past couple of weeks, every Friday.
I'm proud of us for that, though, I'm proud of us for this.
We finally find a day to record, consistent recording date. It's not necessarily always uploaded because sometimes, life gets in the way and people get a little busy and uploading takes some time.
At least it's recorded. At least it's recorded.
Yeah, the hard part is done.
I like the commitment and I like the fact that you guys...
I was just going to say, 11 episodes in and we only fuck up once? That's good, Jad.
Oh, okay, yeah. The 1 week we missed.
Yeah. True. And that I have to take responsibility for that because half of that is my fault because it's like work and scheduling and not
it was a bad week.
It was a tense week, but so it was only that. But apart from that, we've been going straight. I mean, the view has been up and down, but I think the most views we have is like 77 so far. Last time I checked,
I don't even know.
I had to check.
I really don't like to try to get too caught up in checking views and stuff like that because, like, to me, it's.
I got a little bit of an ego, and I like to see, at least with that concern, and I want to see the growth, just to compare. I guess you could say I'm more looking for the content. So I'd be like, all right, cool. If for some reason the episode with me and Gary just here by myself without any somebody to interview, if that gets a good bit of views, I'm gonna be like, all right, cool. So what the hell we talk about there that somewhat people is interested on?
True.
I judge from that, but then Yeah.
Like the way I see it, I expect every interview to get a little bit more views than the ones when it's just me and you, because there's more people involved. I might bring some people like into your personality, people into your personalities. Like the combination of all three of the personalities together might bring in the more people versus when there's only two people to potentially pull in people. So to me, I expect everyone with a guest to have a little more than just the ones with two of us. But I kind of gauge the ones with two of us more as the growth, because I feel like that's the consistent element of the show. Me and you, like that's the basis of the show. Like the guests will change, the guests will vary, so those will always go up and down and stuff that we can't necessarily control. That's based on whatever guest it is, their fan base and stuff, whatever they may bring in. But I mean,
that, and I guess you could say the subscribers. Because we went up like two or three last week. I was like, hey. But just like everybody that been listening and telling us, like, you know, it's a good something. I even get like some of my friends from Canada. They got one of my homeboys, shout out Michael. He been telling me, he like what we doing and stuff like that. So it's just a continue. We just have to keep it up.
Yeah, and
long story short,
just keep on
keep
doing
up good content. We got to keep producing content, good content. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Establish a brand and let people know that, okay, you know, there is good content that'll be coming out to this channel.
We got some things in the work and in discussion to start up. Maybe we might implement in
who knows?
Next couple months. Maybe not. If not, for sure, something new. So for 2018.
Yes, they still got some ideas that need to be refined a little bit.
Yeah. But, and then you know, might add a few things here and there, but. How I want to see it is definitely going to be growth, but just once we continue and once we live close to each other, because that's another something.
Yeah. But Nelly, is there anything? Because I mean, like we was going through filmography, we got kind of distracted. But like, I mean, so we basically got like the two films that you talked about, the Spanish MMA fighter one, and then we got the Dutch hip hop documentary.
Yes,
we got the Student Late Show. Is there anything? I know I saw a couple of videos here and there. Like, I remember there was one that we were doing with like yoga and stuff like that I saw back in the day. Like. I don't remember exactly when it was, but
we've been doing this for a while, right? This episode, but next time Nelly come through, I got some topics there because that whole Rumper situation, Nelly got to explain himself properly.
What?
Rumper.
Okay.
But we gonna save that. We gonna save that for next time.
Really, dog? Really?
Yeah, no, dog.
You want to have a discussion on that? Like, I thought that fuck was dead. Let it die, dog. I ain't heard nothing about it in quite some time. Let it die.
Yo, that's fashion.
That's the place we have to leave it.
That's fashion.
We have to leave
that's
it.
Fashion. And it's not a romper. It's a jumper suit.
Okay, then.
It's a jumper suit.
Then. The man justifying it.
It's a jumper suit.
What's the difference? Okay, all right. I rest my case. Shit.
Okay, but
anything else you want to plug?
Yeah, cause that was basically where I was leading up to with my question. Like, you know what else is there under Nelly resume that we will potentially be missing on, like, interesting projects that we missed or didn't cover?
Yeah, well, basically, I'm doing a lot of writing. I have some stuff that will be coming out in 2018 that's going to be real official, but it's going to be independent. But basically, I can done say it already. I'm writing on working on some theater plays and stuff like that, so I can get
interesting.
Yeah, so I can get my directing and my writing out into the Dutch market already. Okay. And I'm working on some comics that I already have an illustrator and a colorist with, and we're like one group. And we already have the prototype of the comic already out. Only us three can see it, of course. The colorist, the illustrator, and the writer, which is me.
That's sick.
Yeah,
big moves.
Have storyline. So it's like the first things complete already.
Everything done.
The only like the first chapter or like a whole like.
Yeah, we're gonna be like an episode. Or gonna be like
no. It's gonna be a full comic book with the story, with everything.
Superhero,
characters.
like it's a superhero type something.
Yeah,
Caribbean superhero.
I don't want to say what it is.
Okay, true that. I was trying to get a little bit more out of you, but you're good. You're good.
From the prototype that you all have already, like, but what is it though? Like, or just the first chapter, or is like
it's everything? So it's
is it the entire story of this thing,
not,
or is there
like
more that's gonna come after?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So it's basically, I don't know how much time I have left with you guys here, but
don't worry about that. This is interesting. Let the people know what it is.
So basically, without telling you what the story is, we already have the entire 1 page until the 7th page. And we have all the character, the storyline, and everything is outlined already. However, this is just the pitch for to start off with, to get people excited about what we're doing.
Okay. And what you're releasing it online? You're selling it? What
platform?
So we have this. We went to some Comic Cons. We asked questions. We did some research and stuff like that. We have a pretty versatile team because I'm from St. Martin. One is from Indonesia, and the other one is from Mexico. And
global interconnectedness, perfect example. Continue.
So we're gonna try to release it in America in a production, not in a production, in a, how do you call it, a distribution company. We're gonna try that out and see if we can submit it to them and see if it's gonna get accepted. We're gonna also distribute it ourselves, invest in it, and distribute it. We're gonna try to see if we can put it on Facebook, but only the premise of the story. And if it gets big, we're gonna put it online so people can see just that. But that's what we're trying to do. But next year we're gonna publish it, and we're gonna have it out in the market.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, you'll come back on next year, leave us know how it's going and things like that, because that's definitely something interesting.
As all of these projects, whichever one it is there, if there's ever a moment that you feel like, you want to do some press and speak on some of the projects, I mean, that's what it essentially is. If you have something, a press releases, like if you want to make an announcement to people, and if you want a platform or whatever, we could speak on it, that's more than just like text or whatever, that from a Facebook post or something like that. A long forums place where people can listen to you actually speak about the idea and whatever. Feel free to come through.
Hopefully our audience grow a bit by then.
Yeah. And hopefully I can come with the team, because honestly I feel nervous sometimes speaking by myself about myself, and I just get awkward. So
yeah, but Nelly, you're just awkward in general. Right?
Yeah, I'm an awkward person. I'm always awkward, and anyone who knows me, and when even right now, you could see that I'm awkward. So,
but look at it this way: there's always got to be a first time, and from there it can only get better.
Yeah, for almost everything.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
no, but them some big moves you're doing by Nelly. That's definitely. I glad to hear that's hell. And again, this is the reason for the link up. I did not know that. I did not know you was doing all this.
Yeah, man.
Provides an opportunity for some people to link back up, exchange ideas, hear what's going on in people's lives, and realize that Nelly doing some dope shit.
I now I'm gonna look forward to it. I want to see what, especially with the comic strip and the late night show. I want to see what you gonna do with that. I find that was a very interesting something as well.
2018 is a year.
You definitely got to continue,
because like that would have been my question, like before you elaborated on it, I was going to ask you if you was doing anything like outside of the film, if you tackling any other mediums and stuff like. But I mean, what specifically got you interested? Because you spoke a little bit about some theater stuff, like that's something that I didn't necessarily or picture Nelly being associated with, or at least I didn't know about that side.
You guys never saw my pictures in my first play that I did here in the Netherlands?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Now that you mention it, I think it's making a little more sense. Yeah, true.
So I'm not basically only a guy that's like behind of the cameras or writing. I first started off as an actor in St. Martin, and I did all of this because my personality back in St. Martin, I was really quiet. I didn't like to talk a lot, and I didn't know how to interact with people. Really,
I mean, I've known you for quite some time, since elementary school and stuff. To see the evolution and the growth of Nelly has definitely been an interesting journey and stuff.
It's true.
So that's why I started acting. To
come out of your shell a little bit.
To come out of my shell, to learn how to articulate myself and speak better, and also to try to be more sociable, because I find it hard for me to talk with people and socialize with people without getting nervous, or without stumbling over my words or not pronouncing a word correctly. But when I'm by myself or when I'm writing, it's like perfect. I'm writing, I'm articulating myself so well, and when I'm acting,
Some not
That was
over.
just
Like I feel like we all deal with that to some degree. Some people cope with it a little better than others, but we all feel it. I think.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me and talking on this podcast. I mean, I'm not a person be talking behind a mic. What the hell are you doing behind a mic? Well, after a while, it's just like, yeah, man, you just gotta get used to it.
It took me a long time before I started liking the sound of my voice. I don't know if y'all could tell from the amount that I seem to be talking in these recent podcasts. It's like it took me a while to get to this point where I like the sound of my voice. And I don't know.
For me, I still don't like the sound of my voice. I just
It's
talk a lot of
odd.
shit.
I can't do nothing. I mean, I learn how to.
For me, it's just I just talk.
You use it for the purpose. It's
Yeah,
purely functional.
It's awesome.
But I mean, is there Is there anything else, or did we cover it all? Aside from we was talking about the theater stuff, the acting and coming out of your shell, and so I guess like what would be your aspirations? I guess with theater specifically, like I know you talk about enjoying the directing and the executive kind of producing process of like being behind the scenes, but so acting is basically also a passion as well, or something you would want to pursue further, or it's just like
acting is two things for me. Acting is a passion, and acting is therapeutic to me. Acting gives me the ability to express myself that I would like to do when no one is around, and also it helps me cope with my insecurities and the way how I present myself, so I can act as someone else.
Okay, but wait.
You're going into some potentially deep topic.
Yeah.
If we start exploring them and stuff like that.
I was ready to just ask a question because nine a little bit contradictory. Because if you using acting as a tool for your insecurities,
Yes.
Isn't that kind of running away from it? Because you're not acting you're not being you're being somebody else. So you practically just escaping into another world. So isn't that kind of like
counterproductive?
Yeah.
Maybe it might be counterproductive.
I can understand what you say is a release.
Yeah.
I can understand what you say as a release, but as to say that is therapeutic.
It's therapeutic in a sense because I get to really be comfortable in my own element, and I let people see, me without my walls, without my barriers. When I'm acting, it's like I'm not trying to sound good. I'm not trying to sound bad. I'm just trying to be this character. And when I'm just trying to be this character, I feel free. Like right now, I don't feel free. Right now, I feel like I have to explain what I really mean. And
you fucking have to because it's
exactly.
Because,
it's pressure for me.
Yeah, you find so?
Yeah, it's pressure for me all the time when I'm talking with people. It's pressure for me when I'm in a relationship. It's pressure for me.
But that's because you feel like you can't be yourself normally?
No, it's not that I can't be myself. However, it just feels like
how you mean pressure? Like what you to be feeling like you have to say the right thing, or you have to please everybody, or you have to make people laugh, or like what?
The pressure comes from not knowing how to interact. Because
that's strange. Because you're a man that does build a lot of international people.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I would think that's normal. Like, especially if you be around different cultures, you'll be around different people.
Yeah.
So I would assume that you actually would be comfortable with people.
I am comfortable with people, but I'm not certainly comfortable with myself because I'm not where I want to be in life, and I'm not where I want to be with all the dreams and my goals.
Exactly. That's a different something, man. You just holding yourself a little bit. You're being a little too hard on yourself. Yo, dog, they got people that has a lot worse off than we, man. But I mean, worse off, I ain't talking about like financially, nothing like that. I just mean like where their aspirations is in life. And if you have to go back and see all the things you accomplished, even the things that you failed, the fact that you had the opportunity to try it at least, that's already a win, Jad. Because that you have that experience now. And that experience a lot of people don't have.
You see, in conversations like this, I don't have. So it doesn't give me a sense of relief. But when I have conversations like this, I used to have it with my parents. So I used to tell them, "Hey, this is what happened in school. This is what happened."
So you was more
and then I would, and then I could go back, and then I
okay.
can go back to school being comfortable and comfortable with myself. But now I don't have that. Now I'm by myself, and I'm in Breda all the time. I can't go and talk about my insecurities. I can't go and talk about what failed or anything like that because
You see, back to our original, what we were talking about in the beginning of this podcast. You can't think too much and you sound like a bitch. If you talk about, you express your feelings too much, you sound like a little girl. And that have to stop. That stigma has to stop.
But I feel like we should have Nelly back on this thing to really delve into these topics. I feel
but I got some other questions for you, love. But
like the way this conversation going, I feel like we really gonna go into basically like a therapy session itself. Yeah. Like that's what we getting into, and I'm not opposed to going into that kind of the topic. But I mean, we already been going for an hour and 13 minutes, so like we kind of exceeded our intended limitations already. Okay. So I feel like we should start wrapping up. Not for not wanting to continue the conversation, obviously.
Just for our listeners, they're still new into this podcast thing, so
we're not trying to torture them too much. We ain't trying to make it too intimidating for them. I imagine an hour is already probably a daunting thing to face.
Some good laughs this episode though, book laugh.
But I feel like it's definitely some good conversation. I think we got some stuff to potentially follow up on, for the next time that we have Nelly up here to continue this conversation. And like all the stuff that you have in the works, it definitely sounds interesting. I don't know if you want to leave the people know your social medias and stuff like that, so they could follow all of your projects and stuff.
Tell them with the family on Instagram, Facebook, whatever you have.
The YouTube page, so they could follow the shows and everything.
On Facebook is the Student Late Show. Also for the hip hop documentary, it's the Dutch hip hop documentary. On YouTube, it's Student Late Show. On Instagram, it's Student Late Show. And for the hip hop documentary on Instagram, it's the Dutch hip hop documentary.
Okay. So then that's all the official projects. You don't care if they necessarily follow your personal pages or whatever.
You can find me on Nelly Blaise on Facebook. You can also find me on Twitter. Nelly Blaise TV. You can find me on YouTube, Nelly Blaise TV as well.
Okay then. That's people maybe interested in your views and your opinions on stuff, and just basically be into what it is you're doing as a whole. So they may be interested in the person behind all the projects and stuff like that. May want to stay up to date, basically. So yeah,
everybody. With that being said, like always, if y'all got any topics y'all want us to talk about, anybody specific you want us to bring on the show, let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and share. Subscribe as well. Not only this episode, but check all the other the past
previous episodes.
The previous 10.
Yeah, we have 11 now. Making progress.
We're doing progress is progress, no matter how small. So, again, like, share, comment, leave us know what you think. We'd like to thank Nelly again for coming on the show.
No, thank you guys for having me and breaking me down.
That sounds a little suspect, but we're gonna take it out of positive light this time. Mm-hmm. But it ain't gonna be the last time you're up here. God's spare. And Mr. King, you wanna play us out?
Yeah, man. With that, we'll see you the next time we link up.
Blessings, everybody.
Done now.